Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda Chic777, and today I'm coming at you because I've had a few requests to do a tutorial on how I make my Christmas wreaths. I know we're getting closer to Christmas, but I will tell you, I've only made 3 in my lifetime, but I can get it down to where I make a wreath in about 4, maybe 5 hours. So it can be done in a day. It can be done as a quick gift. You can make smaller size wreaths. Obviously, Walmart has different shapes and sizes of wreath frames, or if you're lucky, Dollar Tree has wreath frames for $1. They're all round. Mine are currently out now, so I had to go to Walmart and got their frames. And the one I ended up with was only $1.77. Not bad, but they do go up in price more than that. So I'm going to move my sign out of the way, and I'm going to show you how to get started with this wreath. And, then I'll show you all the supplies and show you what to work with and show you how to get started. And then, we'll make a few together and then we'll see. I may call that good, or I may come back at you, kind of with what I show you completed, and then probably this is what I'll do, and then show you how to add to it. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I get there. So, like I said, move the sign out of the way and show you what we need to do. Okay, so Dollar Tree has, this is from Walmart, Dollar Tree has these frames, okay, and they are green in color, and they are usually round, and they're about a 20-inch frame, but like I said, mine was out this time around, so I went and got this, there, as you can see, it's a square one, got it from Walmart, and like I said, I think this is a 16-inch frame, and it was $1.77. Now, if you're working with colors like I'm going to work with for this particular wreath, which is blues and whites and silvers, I painted my frame in white with spray paint because in case any of this green shows through, obviously I don't want that. And the back, when you're done tying everything, is actually all very neat and tidy, and you can see the frame. So I spray painted mine in white, like I said. So, that being said, let me bring up the one I spray painted in white, okay? Nice, completely white. Now, I believe the Dollar Tree frame, see how this is kind of, this one is 3 layers, but you can see how it's kind of got elevation to it. It's not flat. Okay, and I think Dollar Tree one has 4 of these on it. As it comes around, it's got 4 of these, I believe it does actually, of these sections. You know what I'm saying? Where this only has 3. Okay, and then when I use Dollar Tree ones, I go on the middle section, and then I'll skip one, and then the one at the top, I'll work with that section. But on this one, I think I'll go, since there's only 3 frames to this, I'll probably work on the outer one and the inner one. But Dollar Tree, I work on the middle one and then the most forward one. So, as you can see, and it's the same with the Dollar Tree frame, this section, or this frame has sections, okay? You can see how we're coming along. Like, I've never worked as a square frame, so I think it's going to be kind of cool. But see how it's got sections. So, in each section, I will start off, I'll make 4, how do I want to say this? I'll make 4, start with 4 pieces per section on the bottom row. Okay, and then on the very top row, the inner part of the frame, I'll start off with 3. Now then, I start off with 4 because we're going to work with pipe stems, and if you just go ahead and well, why not tie them all on at once, it's going to be harder and harder as you're layering the mesh to start locating these pipe stems, okay? So I start off on the first layer with 4, and then I'll go back in and I'll add more of the mesh, and I usually end up with 6 or 7 things of mesh in each layer, usually about 7. I'll go back and fill it in, and then the innermost circle, I start off with 3 and I end up with about 4 or 5 depending. Okay, and this is what I mean. I'm going to lower this like this a little bit So I start off with these. Let me find my pipe stems. I get them at Dollar Tree. You can get them anywhere. I got these. They call them tinsel stems. Dollar Tree, 45 to a tack, and I got these because they're nice silver sparkly. And when I use these, I let these shine through the fabric. Okay, I don't try and hide these because this just adds more texture. So if you're going to do that, I would pick the color of pipe stems that matches your project because it'll get seen through the project. Okay, and I by no means like made this up. I went here on YouTube and I just searched for wreath making, and I found a couple videos that worked for me, and that's how I learned. Okay, so to make these go further, I cut these in half. So if you buy, if like these come 45 to a package, one package should be enough. If for some reason you want, you know, to use the whole thing, then obviously you might want to get more than one package. But I take these stems, they're really thin and chintzy because they're Dollar Tree, but I cut them in half, and I find that half is plenty for what we work with, even adding all the layers. So I go through and I cut all my I want to say pipe cleaners because that's what I'm used to calling them, but I'm trying to say pipe stems. But I'll just say pipe cleaners because that's what I'm used to calling them. I go in and I cut them all in half. Okay, so that's my first go around and start. So let's go through, cut them all in half. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to use. We'll cut most of them because probably what I'll do is show you how to tie a few and then do the off camera and then come back and show you the progress I've made. So I've got my pile of pipe cleaners. And what I do is I will tie on the specific amount of pipe cleaners first, okay? So what I'll do is I'll go on my whichever, I don't know what to call these, whichever layer I guess you want to start with, I'll go through and I'll twist on my pipe cleaners. I'll start with 4 on, I'm only going to use, whichever layer I use, I'm only going to use 2. So if you have a frame that has 4 layers, you're going to use 2. This has 3 layers. Again, I'm going to use 2. So I'm going to skip this middle layer, not even going to touch it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll, let me bring my camera up a little bit more. Okay, what I'll do is I will pre-twist on my pipe cleaners. And I'm going to, like I said, remember we have sections. I'm going to twist on, just put a couple of twists in it. You're going to twist on 4 pipe cleaners, okay? And I'm going to go all the way around. In each section, the first section, I'm going to twist 4 pipe cleaners. Just give it, you know, 1 or 2 little twists. Okay? So they are all ready. Like I said, I will end up adding probably 7 pipe cleaners full of mesh and or fabric or ribbon as it goes. But as you start tying on the mesh, like I said, it gets harder to locate the pipe cleaners as the fuller you get. Okay, so I will start tying that on, and I'll go 4 each section. Like I said, I've never done a square one before, but they were out of the round except for a smaller size, and it really helps when I'm off camera. But I think it'll be cute, and it's going to be kind of a wintry type, you know, blues, kind of more aqua blues. So it might be really cute. And I'm going to add like a little snowman head that I've fashioned up in the corner of this. Okay, so I'm going to I'll do one more here. I'll start with my 4 layers. And don't twist them real tight so that you can find and move your pipe stem around, okay? And then, like I said, I'll skip this and I'll go into this middle layer, and for here I'm going to start with 3. You're going to have less in the inner circle, less mesh than the outer circle because like I said, I'll end up with like 6 or 7. Usually I think more 7, and I start with 3 up here, but I end up with I think about 5. You'll have less on your inner frame because you still want to have that opening in your wreath. If you put more in, it's going to completely close that opening, and that's not what you want. You want that opening so that it looks like a wreath. So I put less on the inner layers. So let's just say, you know, I've got my 4 started here, and I've got my 3 on my inner one here. And I'll pre-tie all the way around, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to move that out of the way and show you some things you can use, okay? Dollar Tree has this wonderful mesh. I'm going to use this real pretty aqua. It's 6 yards or 6 inches by 5 yards. This is perfect because 6 inches is a great width to use on these wreaths. So I've chosen to get a blue. And they were actually out of white, which is good because I can show you other, but I had one left from my last wreath, okay? So white. And usually being this is 6 inches in width, I will cut about 6 by 6 inches. Okay, I'll cut about a 6-inch length of this, okay? Now, and usually, if I've used all of Dollar Tree, I will get, like, my main color. I'll use, like, 6 of one color. That's what I did on my one, and 5 of another. Now, that was on a round wreath. I don't know about a square wreath, but I'll usually use 6 of one, 5 of another. Now, if your Dollar Tree doesn't have that, you go to Walmart. And so that would be like a cost of $11. Walmart has these great big ones. And these are like $3.47. And our state doesn't have tax, so it is $3.47. It's 20 feet of it. I don't know how much of this you would use. Since this is, what did I say, 5 yards, and I would use 5 of the white on this, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25 yards. Oh, there's 3 feet to a yard, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You might only need one of these. That might be perfect. And that's going to save you some money because this would be $3.47, whereas this would be $5. And for 5 of them. And you're going to end up with about, per wreath, because, you know, you cut 6 of these, you're going to end up with about 80 pieces of mesh, give or take. Maybe a little bit more, but you're going to end up with 80 cut pieces at least of mesh, okay? So this is going to save you a little bit. You'll probably have to buy 2 for your other color, but you'll save a couple of dollars. The only thing with this is already pre-cut one way for me. I only have to cut 6-inch lengths. Where this, I'm going to have to, you know, cut one way and then cut another way. So it's a little bit more work for me, but it will do the job. Okay, that's going to be my main base. So when I talk about mesh, this is what I'm using. Okay, for filler, I will come along for filler. Now, they also had this at Walmart that was neat because it has almost like these snowballs on it. I will use this as filler. Now, some of you may want to use this as your mesh, which is fine because it is a mesh, but this has so much texture on it. For me, I wouldn't want my whole wreath with all of this on it, but you may like that. So while this would be my actual mesh part, this would be my filler part, and I would probably cut about 40 or so of these, about half of the amount I would cut with these, okay? Because this would be filler, this would be texture for me, okay? And I got some in white. And it was just so pretty. I don't know if I'll use this one, but I found it in blue as well. It's just so pretty. This might be all I want to use of it because it's already in, you know, but I already have it in white too. So we'll see how much of this I use. Also, and what you do, I've already cut a strip. You know, you just about the same, cut it in a strip. Probably 6, that's probably 7 or 8 inches. Cut it in a strip and then cut off about, you know, 6 inches of each piece, okay? So you have to do a little more work on that, but it's worth it. And then other filler that I'll do, like I found this fabric at Walmart, this beautiful kind of sheer fabric. It had snowflakes on it. I bought like a yard of it, and I cut it into about, like, you know, just making it easy, 6 by 6 pieces. Cut it into strips and then cut off you know, 6 by 6 squares, 8 by 8's probably more what that is, 8 by 8 squares. And I will use that as filler as well. What I'll do, and I'll show you as I do that, as we get to that, is you just kind of scrunch it up, adding it to your mesh that's already there, and it's beautiful filler. Okay, so I use that. Also, other things that I use is like ribbon. You can buy it at like Dollar Tree, wire edged ribbon. It doesn't have to be wire ribbon, but you know, it's $1. I buy it in the wedding section because the wedding is just white if you're going for something with whites. This ribbon, particular ribbon, I got in the baby section at Dollar Tree. Both of those at Dollar Tree. Did I say Dollar Tree on that? The baby section, it's perfect just because there's little polka dots on it. And then what I do is I cut these in about probably 8-inch lengths, and then I cut little fishtails on each end. And so that will add some texture, and this is wire in it, but like I said, you don't have to. But that will add texture as well in our project with little ribbon ends sticking up. Okay, so there's that, and that's what I use as well, so wire ribbon. Also, I know there's a lot of talking here, but I want to show you. Walmart, I'll buy like these picks. Okay, they're $1 something like these. They're beautiful little squiggle picks. I bought 2. I bought silver and white, and then I cut off the little picks, and I will use them as texture in, see, I cut them off, and I will use them as texture in my wreath. Okay, so I mean, you buy one, $1.48, and you got, like, usually comes with 6 on it, 5 or 6, cut them off, and you've got this great texture sticking out of your wreath. Here's another one. I cut them off. This was a pick at Walmart. It has snowflakes on it, really thick snowflakes. I think 3 to a thingy, and I just cut them off. And it's on wire, and then I've got bendable wire, and I can tuck this into my wreath as well, since I'm doing kind of a snow theme. You can get like these at Dollar Tree. They're decorative snowflakes. I will tuck them into my project. You can also get it like Walmart. It's the package of like 20 of them. They're a little bit thinner, the little plastic snowflakes. Use those to tuck into your projects. Okay. There's also this that I will tuck in. These you can get at Dollar Tree. They come 2 per card, and they have little bells on them, and I can take the bells off and tuck these in. Anything that will just add that kind of elegant look to it. Okay. Also these, like at Dollar Tree, the big bells. They come in like silver or gold. I got these and I spray painted them white. I already had to spray paint my frame. I'll usually add like a trio of bells somewhere in one of the corners of the wreath. Okay, spray painted them white. They're ready to go. And let's see, I think, oh, here's another pick idea you can get. Found this at Walmart. You can totally either just put that in like at the base when you make a bow on the bottom of your wreath. If you want to make a bow, you can put this in the center of your bow. Or as I have done with other one, I haven't used this particular one, had bigger leaves, but I cut the leaves off and I tuck the leaves into the wreath. Okay, and then you've got this section you can cut apart. So what I'm trying to show you is look at the picks at Walmart, and you can get them, use them, cut them apart, make them go further in your wreath project. Okay, so that kind of gets us started. Let me show you as far as putting this together. I'm going to show you a couple of them, and then I will do a row of it, and I will come back and show you what I've got, and I'll show you how to add to what you've got there. What I'm talking about is when we get our row of mesh in there, we're going to go back through and add our textured mesh, as well as our textured fabric we're going to go back into, and that's going to be the beauty of the pipe cleaners, because we can go back in and add this mesh into the pipe cleaners, or add this fabric and textured and ribbon into the pipe cleaners already there. We just untwist, add to it, twist back up. The beauty of it, quick and easy. Okay, so let's get a couple of these cut. And then, like I said, I will show you how to do a couple, and then I will, you know, finish like probably the outer perimeter of the frame, and actually I'll probably finish the whole thing, not finish, I will go in and add, you know how I added 4 pipe cleaners on the outer in each section, and then I added 3 pipe cleaners on the inner of each section, and then we will go back. I'll finish both of those, and then we'll go back in and I'll show you adding more mesh into it, and then I will show you how to add to each layer of mesh. Confusing? Yeah, it is for me too. Hopefully I'm explaining myself well. So like I said, these are already about 6 inches. So I will take, and you get quite a bit as you cut off of these, okay? And I just kind of eyeball it, and I will go through, let me do it this way so it's easier. And I will go through, and I will just, about that wide is about what I use. So let me cut that and measure for you, okay? Grab a ruler here. These are already, did I say 6 inches? Yes, they're already 6 inches in width, so that makes it easy for us to cut. And then I cut it just about 8 inches, maybe a little bit over. So I cut 8-inch lengths, okay? So let me just whack it, and I just eyeball it. I don't measure, you know, I just kind of, you start after a while, start getting used to kind of how long the pieces look, okay? Just eyeballing it. And it's nice because some of them, they just kind of curl up naturally for you. So I'm just going to cut 4 off for right now. Because what I'll do is I'll go around one way with some of them, and then I will go back and do the other way. And you know exactly what I'm talking about when once I do it. Because right now you're like, one way and the other way. This is how I get even more texture on my wreath. Okay, so let me cut 4 of the white ones. Just eyeballing. We're just going to get 4 here. It's so nice, you know, I'll use that bigger because that's what I've got. Plus, this has some silver through it, and that one big white one doesn't have any silver through it. It's just completely white. So I actually get a little bit of texture out of this, or a little bit of color out of this. That's kind of why I like this, because it kind of had the silver through it, where Walmart's white one, the big white one, doesn't. It's got a light something or other through it, but not like this. This kind of makes it more wintry and pretty. So let's cut 2 more. And then I'll show you what I do. We'll just do 1 small row, and I will complete it, and then come back and we'll start the next level. Okay, and see, this one was even shorter than 8, probably 6 inches. Doesn't matter to me, it's all going to get covered. Alright, so let me see the easiest way to show you this, and probably, so in order to show you, I'm going to go ahead and twist off this, I just wanted to show you how I kind of pre-twist these on at first. I'm going to twist off these top layers so that they aren't in the way and distracting, okay? Twist off some of those pipe cleaners and bring them around over here so we have just what we're working with here in the middle, okay? Alright. So what I will start with, I've got 4 here. And when I go in and add my other 7, I will usually just do this one particular thing, and I'll show you. So what I do is I go every other one, okay? And this is what I do, every other one. So you've got your mesh, it curls up really pretty, right? So what I do is I just curl it up a little bit tighter, okay? So I've got a little tube, okay? Tiny little tube. And then I'll get the white, and I will curl it up tighter. Okay? I've got 2 tiny little tubes. Okay? Squish it together. Okay? So now you've got these funny looking squish tubes. Alright? I'm going to come down here. Am I angled right? Let me make sure I'm angled good so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to come down here in this first pipe cleaner, and it's going to go on sideways. That's okay. We'll fix it. I'm going to lay it in the middle. I'm going to undo my twist, lay it in the middle of the pipe cleaner. So I'm going to pull the pipe cleaner up and give it a nice, good, tight pull so it's tight, and do like a couple of twists. Okay? And that's it. I'm going to leave it. This will turn this way. It just automatically turns this way. Okay? I'm going to leave that just like that. I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to do the next one, and I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So I'm going to roll up. Kind of hard doing standing up. I usually sit on the floor and do this. Okay. Doesn't have to be neat. I'm going to roll it up. I'm going to take another one. I'm going to roll it up. And I will usually do like my main color on the bottom, like I'll do, since I did blue on the bottom and white on top, I'll do that all the way around. I'll keep the blue on the bottom when I roll it, and I'll put the white on the top. Okay, I'm going to, like I said, skip a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to give it a nice good pull tight so it's tight in there and really scrunches it up good, a couple of twists, and leave it. Okay, so that's what I do every other one. I leave, we'll go back and we're going to add to these pipe cleaners, okay? And then when we're done, these pipe cleaners are just going to stick up out of the wreath. You don't see them much, but they're there, but it's cute because it adds texture, and that's why I say make sure you get the pipe cleaners that you want that match your project. So every other one, I'm rolling them, okay? Then, let's go back to the one in between the two rolled, and here's what I do in between those. I take the mesh, open it up. I think I tend to open, the way it rolls closed, that's the direction I keep faced up, and I scrunch it. Okay? I don't turn it this way. I keep it up so the rolled is still kind of up. Do you see what I'm saying? It wants to roll this way. I squish it in the center, and the rolled is still kind of pointed upwards, so it's kind of like that. Okay? Then you're going to take the white, same thing, you're going to scrunch it so my rolled is up, and you're going to do it like this, and you're going to scrunch it. Okay? Now you've got this kind of scenario going on. I'm going to open my pipe cleaner, I'm going to bring it in, same thing. I'm going to pull it nice and snug and tight so my pipe cleaner's tight, give it a couple of wraps, and then it's in. Okay? And it'll twist. So I've got rolled in one, and I've got squished in the next. Then my next one is the roll that I already did. Okay? And then this next one I'm going to do a squish. All right, we're going to roll and squish, roll and squish. I'm going to go ahead and open my pipe cleaner. All right? My roll is facing upwards on my mesh. Squish it. And squish it. Okay? And then I'm going to come into my pipe cleaner. I'm going to give it a nice tight pull together and a couple of times. Okay? Alright, so that's what I've got so far. Alright, I've got a roll, a squish, a roll, and a squish. Now when I go to fill it in, I will usually probably go for the squish, because I've got enough rolls all the way around. So when I go to fill in, like my other 3 will be on here, because of 4, I'll probably do 3 more. They'll all be squished, and I'll just kind of alternate them in between. So you might end up with a couple of squished together, but, you know, that's okay. Now, just real quick, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do that all the way around, 4 in each section. Then I'm going to go down and probably add 3 in each section to fill it up. And I would do one thing at a time. So I'll go the whole outer edge of the wreath, and then I'll go in and do the same process on my inner edge, okay? And then I'm going to show you real quick to when you go to add something. So I've got like this fabric, okay, that I cut. I'm going to add fabric to. When you want to go to add something, okay, I just take my fabric, I just bunch it up, and I'll come in. It doesn't matter where. You're going to, you know, look at it, and you're probably going to just add it sporadically throughout your design. I'm just going to go into one. I don't even necessarily have to unwrap the pipe stem. I'm just going to place it in there, and I'm going to give it a nice tug to tighten it. I'm going to do a few more twists. Okay, and then I've just added my lace to that rolled section, and now it's starting to fill in. And since this is just filler, like I said, I don't want it everywhere. I just want touches of it and kind of sporadically. So I'll probably add like 2 in each little section, okay? And then maybe also to that, maybe in this next one, I want to add some of this, the little snowball stuff. So let me cut off some of that. This will probably already be pre-cut because I'll do it like an assembly line. Okay. Same thing, you got a little kind of 8x8 square, squish it up. I'm going to come in maybe in the next section or wherever I want to place it. We're going to come in, pull that pipe cleaner tight, add to it, and now we've got some of this coming up, and then coming up out of it. And then as you're filling up, you know, this will all start to kind of, as you add more of the mesh, this is all going to start to bunch up and slowly kind of go upward like lace. And see how the pipe cleaner's showing through it? Well, it'll look better when it's fuller. But the pipe cleaners just add kind of this shimmery effect to it. And they'll get all scrunched in there, and, you know, you'll see a little bit of it, not a lot. But that's how I'll start adding this stuff. Same with the ribbon. I'll go through. I'll have like my just one piece. I'll scrunch it. I'll come in here wherever I want to do it. Maybe I'm going to add it right, you know, over the where I just put that kind of snowball looking mesh. Add some more, you know, add a ribbon, because the ribbon's just going to be sporadic too. Add some of that, and it's going to add more texture even. Okay? So that's just kind of how you add stuff to it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go on my time, and I'm going to add nothing but mesh. I'm not going to add any of this stuff. I'm going to add nothing but mesh, and then on the outer and inner rings, I'm going to go in. Once I get all my base mesh in, my 4, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add, you know, my 3 more to each section. I'm going to get the outer ring just really full. And then we're going to come back and look at it, and then we'll start tying some of this stuff in, all this filler in, and, you know, just kind of see as we progress how it goes. We'll add our bells, we'll add our snowflakes, we'll add our curlicues, things like that. But I just wanted to give you a quick little thing on how you add to your mesh with your ribbon and stuff like that, just so you know. But I'm going to go around and just get nothing but my mesh in, okay? And then I will come back and we'll progress from there, all right? Here we go. Okay, I've come back and I went ahead and I tied on all my mesh. So I know it's going to be hard to see, but there is my entire wreath. Okay, I've tied on all the mesh that we talked about. Now I think somewhere, because this is a couple days later showing you, I think somewhere around the beginning of the video when I was talking about the mesh, I talked about, you know, you would probably cut 80 pieces of mesh. I didn't clarify that, because that's like for one row, then you like the inner row, and then you have the outer row of like 80 pieces of mesh. I mean, you're going to be cutting a couple hundred pieces of mesh, which sounds like a lot, but goes pretty quickly. But I will say what I didn't like for me was cutting those long, big rolls of mesh that I got at Walmart. It saves you a little money, yes. I mean, just a few dollars, but it was so much more tedious and messy. I like getting just the, you know, the small, short rolls and just having to make one cut and a bunch through. So, you know, it's just preference. But I went ahead and I got in like all my, fabric that I was talking about that I tied in, just like I showed you. I went through and tied all my mesh in first, and then I went back in places and tied in extra pieces of like the fabric. I went back in and tied like extra pieces of my fishtail bows. I've got like right in here, and I've even got some white in there. I'm trying to pick it up because there's a few things I haven't glued in yet. Here's some of the white that I put in. Okay, so there's a few things I haven't glued in yet because I wanted to show you. So I'm going to kind of move this over. I haven't put my bells in yet. I'm going to show you just kind of what I do, and then I'll go and secure them a little bit more. So when I do smaller bells, okay, what I do is I just get some wire, and now all of a sudden, where did my wire go? Let me grab some more over here. I think it's like 22 gauge wire. It's just really kind of thin wire. You can really use any gauge you want. And I just kind of cut off a nice, you know, probably 8-10 inch piece, although I know I won't use that much. Okay. And then to secure, when I use the smaller bells, I just kind of get one, you know, I thread them all onto the wire. And I suppose I could put one bell on and then twist. Let's do it that way, because a lot of times the way I do it, I just put all 3 on at once. You tend to see the wire a little bit in between. So let's see if this will work. Then let's put another bell on and twist. Yeah, that's going to work a little bit better. And then one more on and twist. Okay, so that's, and then twist, like I said. So there's all your bells, okay? And you see a little bit of the wire, but that doesn't bother me. Not as much as the one I just put them all 3 on 1. And then you've got these long strands of wire here, and you just go down through, and you pull it through where you want, pull it through the back of the frame, and then you twist the wire on, okay? Pull it just through go in through the bottom and pull it through and twist the wire on, okay? Now, when I'm putting things like this through, okay, let me move over a little bit. I'm going to attach one right in here. What I'll do is I'll find a spot. Let me get this camera moved over. I got so much stuff down here. Sorry about that little bit of noise. Okay, let me go down a little bit. Okay, so I'll find a spot like where I want it, and then I'll pull up like one of, like I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. And I'll pull up one of my pieces of stuff that I've put on, okay? One of my pipe cleaners and ribbon. And I put, remember we talked about we put 2 pieces in each one, unless you go to add some of the fabric or something. So I'll open one of my pipe cleaners and I'll pull the 2 pieces apart, okay? And if I use something like this, or like the snowflakes, either one, I'll come in and I use Beacon Fabri-Tac glue because it's supposed to work really well with fabric. I use it even on all my different crafting. And I've cut this off that spray I show you. So I'll come in and I'll just do a heavy glob of glue. Both sides, just about 1 inch on each side, heavy glob of glue, okay? And then I'll come in where I pulled those 2 pieces of mesh apart. I will center this where I glued it between, and I'll put the 2 meshes back together again. I'll center that between the 2 meshes, put it back together again, and then I'll go through and I will tighten and pull on my pipe cleaners, okay? And then that glue is going to set in between the 2 meshes. Plus I tightened it with the pipe cleaner, give it a couple 4 or 5 twists, and then we've got the little spiral sticking out, okay? Same thing when I do something like these snowflake picks. It's usually on a nice wire, so I will go through and just kind of make like a nice little L shape at the bottom of my wire, okay? I'll come in, let me move this camera position up a little bit. I'll find a spot in here. Let me make sure I'm on camera. Okay, I'll find a spot in here. I'm going to go like right in here. I'm going to open up, let me lay that down for a minute. I'm going to open up that particular pipe cleaner. Same thing we just did. I'm going to pull apart this particular one. I have 2 white in here. Pull that apart and just hold it there, okay? And I'm going to take a glob of glue on this. This one's going to be hard to do because the glue's going to want to drip right off. You've got to work fast because it gets drippy. And I mean, I put like a lot of glue. I'm not chintzy with it, okay? There's a lot of glue on there. I come back in and put it right in between that fabric for those 2 mesh pieces. Put the 2 back together. Then I come in and I glue. Or I'm not glue, sorry, I come in and grab the pipe cleaner. I pull so that I'm pulling across the bottom of the wire of that snowflake and the mesh. Now I've got a lot of pipe cleaner left, so I'm going to just take it and wrap it around the wire of that snowflake, and then I'm going to go and do a couple more twists. So it's kind of secured twice in there. Okay, let me get in there. Try not to get my face in the way where you guys are. Okay, good, my face isn't in the way. Nothing like blocking your vision. Okay, and then that's going to hold in there nicely. Alright, and then since it's wire, I'm probably going to just squish it right down in there a little bit more. And then you've got a nice little snowflake sticking out. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing that I do. These wonderful picks we find at, you know, Walmart, Dollar Tree. Okay, let me cut off this price tag here. It already has a clip on it. That's going to make it easy, but I'm not going to just rely on the clip, okay? I'm going to clip it in, but I'm not just going to rely on that. So what I'm going to do, wherever I am going to clip it, I'm going to actually put glue all on the inner part of this clip, okay? So let me do that. I'm going to just glue top and bottom, a bunch of glue right inside that clip. Okay, bunch of glue right inside that clip. And then I'm going to find where I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to clip it in. And then that's all that glue is going to help it, you know, clip onto the fabric. And I'm actually clipping right in here somewhere. Sorry about my arm. I know it's going to be right in the way, but I got to get right in here. Find out where I'm clipping. There we go. Clipping it right in there and down. Okay, sorry, I'm sure my sleeves are right in the way because my camera view is on the other side of me, but I had to get in there and show you. And then it's clipped in there. It's going to glue in there, and then that looks really nice. Okay, all right, so going to come back again. I have one more thing to add to it, but I'm going to do that off camera because it's my kind of finishing touch of the wreath, and then I'll come back and show you the complete final project. And plus I'm going to add my bells. I'm going to wire those in. Okay. Oh, also same thing. I'm going to do the same thing with these metal snowflakes I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add some wire through that little tip, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to wire it. Move my camera down. Probably right down in here somewhere. I'm just going to go in and wire it to the frame so that it is sticking up. Kind of just right in that mesh. Just going to go wire it into the framework. Okay, see the framework right there? I'm going to just go in, grab that wire, wrap it around, right in through there, just like that. And that snowflake will stick out nice and pretty. Okay, alright, so I will be back again. Okay, so here I'm back at you. Finished wreath. It looks in person way bigger than when I measured it, but it is only a 20-inch wreath, 20 by 20. But the square just makes it look so big. I added the snowman in the corner. You guys see me do a wreath like this before. It was a round one. However, this one's square. If you missed that video, I'll have the link down below. But this particular snowman, I used a large ornament from Dollar Tree, and I found a tutorial here on YouTube to make it look like a snowball by doing Mod Podge and then a salt with glitter mixture over the top. And then I sewed my own little stocking cap on there, added some bells to it, added some bows in the center. I made my own little carrot nose and eyes. I work at a dental office, so I have access to like some stone material. You could make it yourself out of clay, of course, but that is my little snowman there. And let me kind of move in on it so you can see it a little bit more up close. Okay, like I said, I'll put the other it's not a tutorial, but the video down below, but just in case you missed that one. But that wreath is pretty much the same as this one, except it's a round one. But this, you know, as of course wanted to share the technique with you. Sewed the little hat, added some little bells on the hat itself, and it comes down to a little tip, and then added the little snowflake at the bottom here so that this snowflake matches the other couple of snowflakes that I wired in that I just talked about recently. So I have one up here, and then the snowflake I showed you on the cat makes two. Remember how I talked about moving in odd numbers? Okay, and then I have another snowflake right up there, so there's three. And then as I'm moving around the wreath, I mean, you can see this that we glued in. You can see all my little curly cues coming out. You can see the snowflakes I added in, silver and white curly cues, my little bells wired in. Okay, so I hope that this tutorial, although I know long, I hope it helped you some. I hope it helped you to, you know, want to create one for yourself. Fairly easy. And if you don't have $20–25 in 4 or 5 hours, you know, to make a wreath, Walmart carries smaller wreath frames that are like 12 inches, I think, circle ones and square. And you can probably do that in half the cost. So it would probably cost you about, you know, $10–12. By buying the mesh at Dollar Tree, a couple of picks, some bells. You know, you can do picks and cut the picks apart, add curly cue, anything like that. Probably do it about, you know, $12 or so, maybe about 2 hours time. And then you have a cute little quick gift for somebody that's not very expensive. Whereas this one probably cost me about $22–24, something like that. Maybe $25 to make, but it was a gift, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so if you have any questions, comment down below, or just comment, hopefully, that you just love the stink out of it like I do. Anyway, I thank you for going through this whole tutorial with me, and I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.